Hello and welcome to Talking About. I'm John Griffith. Car is off right now. I think she's in the back having pizza, doing something, doing like lesbian stuff. I don't know, but she'll be here for next time. I have this very special returning guest. Greg Fox was here a couple years ago. He is the creator, artist, mind, and overseer, overlord of Kyle's Bed and Breakfast. Welcome back. It's good to have you.
Why, thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you, John. Yeah.
I'm glad. So, well, it's been about 2 years since you were here, at least.
Yeah,
maybe more.
About almost 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Time goes by.
It does. Time really flies. It didn't seem like it, but yeah, I've been doing
Time goes
so much.
by, and 3 books have gone by.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, this new one just came out this month, but I actually have done 2 books since I've been here. In addition to that, also. So, yeah.
So I mean, I love following the strip, Kyle's Bed and Breakfast online.
Oh, thank you.
And just for those who aren't familiar with the premise behind it, you want to just give us an overview?
Sure. Yeah, it's a comic strip, an ongoing series really about gay bed and breakfast, where it's not just gay people, but it's a lot of, it's mainly a gay clientele who go to this bed and breakfast, and it's a pretty diverse group of guys. So, I mean, my whole idea with it was I really wanted to just sort of create the TV show in a comic strip that I always wanted to watch and maybe, and write and draw and everything. So it's really just an ongoing story of these 5 gay guys who share like living quarters together. And because it's a bed and breakfast, there's a lot of other characters who come in and out of this storyline too. So there's always some drama and craziness going on at the bed and breakfast.
Well, I love following it because they're for a strip that's got what is it, about 6 or 8 panels every 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's about 10 panels. Yeah.
Okay, you've given us such a depth and variety of characters that you can actually get invested in, and you release one about every 2 weeks?
Yeah, I do one every 2 weeks. I get a lot of emails, people want me to do more, because they're like, oh, what? Because I have a lot of cliffhanger endings, and people are like, they don't want to wait 2 weeks for the next one. But it's kind of, because I'm doing the whole thing myself, I'm doing the penciling, the inking, the coloring, the writing of it too. To do it weekly would be really kind of crazy schedule. I don't know if maybe, at some point I could do that, but at this point, the bi-weekly thing seems to work well. Okay. And then when people get the books, actually they can read it without having to wait the 2 weeks, which is why people really like reading it in the book form, because you don't have to wait the 2 weeks for each episode. Just turn the page and it's there.
But it's like binge watching something online. It's like then you have to wait an extra long time for the next installment.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
And the current book is Without Reservations.
Without Reservations, yes.
Which is the 5th book in the series?
It's the 4th in the series, but there's been a 5th. There's been another book which is in a book of figure drawings of one of the characters.
We do have here.
Yeah.
And this one's a little more risque?
Well, yeah, it's very, how do I put it, artistic. It's very sort of classical art.
Yeah, this is one that we can, it's not very frontal.
Yeah, I've never, my comic strip in general it's never been an adult comic strip, not that there's anything wrong with that, but the fact that it's a syndicated comic strip and it runs in magazines across the country in places like Salt Lake City and Omaha, Nebraska, and Kansas City, and I've never been able, really, I've sort of have to stay within the guidelines of not showing frontal nudity or anything like that.
A little booty every now and then.
A little rear, but I try to keep it, I say it's PG-13.
Yeah,
that's,
really that's exactly what I was going to say. It's a PG-13
But with this book, it was just something that one of the characters, there's a storyline where one of the characters did pose for some photos, and I got a lot of emails saying, you can actually do a book of the photos that he posed for. And of course, I do a lot of figure drawing anyhow, and I thought, well, I could just do a book of my figure drawings. It just came together sort of off the top of my head. I had all these figure drawings I was doing anyway, and I said, well, I'll make them all look like that one character in the strip. And the book has been really, actually selling really well, so it's been like a good addition to the line of books.
Okay, so obviously, central character is our title character.
Kyle, yes.
Yeah. Who is your favorite peripheral character?
Peripheral or the main character?
Peripheral character. In the central core, but
well, it's interesting because I brought in some new characters. Some of the characters who are maybe not the most well liked, or for me, are the most interesting to write. There's a character called Price Kingsbury who's like this. He's the kind of character everybody loves to hate. He's so manipulative. He's like this rich kid from Kentucky who's he comes in, he just gets into so much trouble. He's like always scheming and manipulating, and people hated him at first, but he's so interesting for me to to write this character. It's so
Well,
completely different
it's
from me, but it's
it's like from a performance point of view, it's always more fun to play the villain. So I'm sure it's always more fun
right.
to write the villain.
Yeah, it is really is fun writing him.
And even it's like from a reader perspective, it's the villain. But again, you've got the depth of character, so that occasionally you can pull a little sympathy toward him. So,
yeah,
so
I do. I try not to make him. He's not. He has a humanity to him. He's not like this total, just hardcore, insane, satanic character. He has some real, you can see. I've gone into his past. He's had some kind of crazy past. So you can see where a lot of this animosity within him has come from, because he's had some tough times growing up too. In addition to all the other, to go into the Hamptons and all the other things that a millionaire kid will have.
Okay. Well, with the collections, are the collections sort of somewhat completed storylines? Do you break it so that?
Yeah, I do. Generally, I do storylines because there's these 5 main characters. I try to do the spotlight to go around to each one. So each one gets kind of a storyline arc of maybe 7 to 10 episodes, and then I kind of weave them together so it's not all just one going on at one time like the other characters come in. So I do go around and just make, I get everybody at their equal time. And so in addition to the 5 main characters, there are these other characters, the peripheral characters, and they are very. They got their own stories coming up, and then they almost have supporting characters in their lives. So for me, it's like, I usually have to sit down once I would say every 6 months I do it now. I have like a storyline summit where I sit down and map out like all the different characters, how they're gonna like interact. And even that is not 100% set in stone, because I will adjust that as I'm going along to see how it's
because your
working.
creative flow might take you in a different direction that you originally intended.
Right, yeah. So it's just, it's a constant sort of juggling act to keep all their storylines going properly. And
So where is everybody in this book?
where are they?
Yeah, like where are the characters
Metaphysically?
mentally? What can the readers expect? We want to let you know what you're going to expect.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of stuff going on with them. In this book, there's the baseball player character who's had his issues about coming out of the closet or staying in the closet. And for me, that's kind of a interesting thing, because I get so many emails, people ask me, when is he going to come out of the closet? He's a minor league baseball player. And for me, and I explained, I did a column on outsports.com explaining this, because I wanted to explain why I can't have him. Until there's like an actual real live out baseball player, I could have him come out, but then in a couple of years when finally, eventually, we do get a real baseball player who's going to come out of the closet.
While they're still playing.
Right, yeah, while they're still playing. Then it's going to be like, it's going to negate his whole storyline as being the first guy to come out. So I want there to be an actual, so when he comes out, it won't be like this thing that sets it in stone that he's the first historical gay baseball player, because the storyline won't make sense then when people are reading it in a few years if there is a real gay baseball player. And hopefully that's going to change, because I think this year we've had a couple of minor league players who have come out while they're playing. So segue into the sports department here, but yeah.
So it'll happen, and I've noticed just the introduction of some new characters. Everybody's pretty hot in their own way. The way that you draw them.
Yeah,
and you've incorporated a wider spectrum of body types and ages in the last.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a diversity now. There's a senior citizen character who's in his 80s. There's someone, well, Dave has been in a while. There's a handicapped character who's, which was interesting to me, because that character generated more emails of enthusiastic support, because so many disabled people were writing me saying they had never seen a gay character portrayed like that, And I was like, well, why not? Why hasn't that been done? And I thought it's about time that there was.
Exactly. I appreciate that you do it.
Oh, thanks.
And okay, where online can people find you?
KyleComics.com, KyleComics.com, and also on Facebook. Definitely check out the Facebook page, because even though there's a new episode every 2 weeks at the website, you can always check in on the Facebook page, because there's always some new tidbit I'm posting every day or two. I'm putting up something about what's coming up, or just little historical things that happened in the strip, and it's a fun way to keep in touch with the bed and breakfast, because I think that's what people really want with this series. What I hear most is like it's their place to go to escape from, or just it's their thing they look forward to, like to get away to Kyle's bed and breakfast. So it's always there. Yeah.
So, and the books, there are links on the website
There are,
for
yes.
those who want the books, and
Yes.
it's available through most major online retailers.
Yes, you can get it at any book. If a bookstore doesn't have it, they can order it for you, and it's also available at Amazon.com. And there are links at my website. But if you just go on Amazon and search Kyle's Bed and Breakfast, all the books will come up. So they're all easily available.
So I really appreciate you taking the time. out of your schedule
Thank you
to
for
come
having
visit
me. It's
again.
been.
I mean, we could probably fill a full
I
hour
know.
and go on and on.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because you know, it's like you breathe life into these characters, and I love these characters.
Oh, thank
but
you.
I think there's only so much that
Right.
the audience can take of me and you talking about all these people that I've come to know and love so well.
Oh.
And I think that you should check out the books at your better online retailer and the website one more time.
KyleComics.com.
Thank you again. I'm John Griffith, www.talkingabout.info. There'll be links to that as well as where you can get these. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you.